just made eye contact with me and then beelined for me and shoulder shoved me into a wall. Fully into a wall.
So there's actually a term for what OP here experienced when it came to this man's behavior. And in Japan, it's called butsukari otoko, aka collision or bumping man. This bumping man behavior is really common in Japan, especially during commutes. You could be navigating your way to work, or even worse, walking with your child or pushing a pushchair when you encounter one of these bumping men. And according to the Japan Times, this behavior comes from a lot of working men who are unsatisfied with their lives, who are frustrated, and are taking it out on the people around them, specifically through shoulder barging, through pushing, and through all sorts of kind of physical behavior that is just passable enough to believe that it wasn't intentional. In fact, creators like Sandy in Japan have actually talked to Japanese women and interviewed Japanese women to talk about this occurrence. Although technically these bumping men can target anyone, a lot of the time their frustration seems to be very targeted towards women. Although this behavior is more of a power play than it is an intentional incel behavior, it is still a behavior that very much stems from misogyny. This person's experience and many others, this behavior is also starting to become more common here. You can't go around venting your frustrations to people by physically punching them or kicking them or do anything that's too obvious, even though that doesn't really stop men anyway because they do that now. But this kind of behavior is just passable enough as plausible deniability. Truthfully, we all know what happened. We know that this guy specifically targeted OP in order to shoulder barge her. I know from my own experience that when I didn't want to take a drink that I didn't see get prepared from a guy at an after party from an anime convention, he ended up shoulder barging me really hard as his plausible deniable way of getting back at me. It was still physical assault because he targeted me to shoulder barge me and did it very hard. Because it was a crowded club, there was plausible deniability that it was an accident, even though he turned to me and then flipped me off right to my face. So ladies or gentlemen, if you do encounter this behavior, if you do have this happen to you, please make sure that you're reporting it and talking about it, because I do worry that this Japanese trend of sorts will start to take place over here because of that aspect of plausible deniability. Shoulder barging is still physical assault. It is still unwanted, unnecessary physical intervention with somebody. There is no need to shoulder barge someone out of your way. If you're on a pavement, unless it's ramroded busy, you can just step off the pavement and walk around. This guy knew what he was doing, and it's just important to stay safe and stay aware because this is an existing problem and it seems to be coming over to here.